Hey everybody, welcome to Adobe Live. Terry White here. It's my pleasure to be streaming to you once again. This time I'm actually in studio, so it's great to be back in studio to do these lives. Now, I had a whole thing planned with my co-host John Knack, who's not here because John unfortunately had a last-minute family emergency, so we wish him well. We hope it's nothing major. But with that said, it kind of throws a wrench into some of the things I was going to do because I was going to work off him and he was going to show some never seen before Firefly content that he was going to sneak, but it's not going to happen. So we're still going to do the movie poster. We're still going to do all the things that, get you up to speed on Firefly, tell you what Firefly is if you don't know, tell you how to get access to it if you don't have access to it yet, so forth and so on. So we're just going to march along. That's what we do. So with that said, I see some folks hanging out in the chat. I see Sam. Hey, Sam. I see Mace. I see Hassan. I see Juan. And, of course, the Adobe Live moderators. So we're going to be working on a AI-generated movie poster. And you get to participate because you're the ones that are going to feed me prompts of things you want me to generate and see how it does. So I do run the right to veto a prompt that I don't think is going to work out. But for the most part, you guys can just feed prompts and I will generate the content based on those prompts. All right, so a bunch more folks are coming in all the way from the Netherlands. And I see Ali, hello, and the Daily Vibe, welcome. All right, so with that said, let's get started with what is Firefly, how you can apply for access to it. It's a public beta right now, so how you can get on the list to get access to it. And then we'll dive right into you guys giving me prompts, and we're going to build our poster in Photoshop, and away we go. So with that said, if we can switch over to my display, I'm going to go ahead and show you the website. So the website you would head over to is simply firefly.adobe.com. Now, a lot of questions come up when I show this because people say, well, what if I don't, does it work if I have the photography plan? Does it work if I have all apps? What if I only have a single application? What if I'm not an Adobe customer at all? Anyone can go to this website and apply and click the join the beta. So you don't have to even be an Adobe customer to do this. However, access is not immediate at this point. We had over 1 million people request access, and we're trying to clear that list as quickly as we can. So if you're on the list and you haven't got access yet, hopefully that access will be coming to you very shortly. And if you join today or if you get on the beta today, hopefully you will get in sooner than later. So with that said, also I just want to remind you, now that I'm looking at it and I don't want to forget to say it, if you want to join the discussion, there's a button right here that says join the Discord. So the Discord is a separate app, separate community where we're all talking Firefly. So you could talk about your successes, you could talk about your failures, you can talk about, give the product team ideas, things you'd like to see, hopes and dreams, whatever it is you're looking for. Head over to the Discord channel to talk with us, to talk with all the people that have anything to do with Firefly, including other users like yourself. All right, so once you're here on the website, initially, when we first rolled it out about a month and a half ago, we had basically only 2 areas of the site open. We had text to image and we had text effects. We recently opened, like at the end of April, recolor vectors. So I'll give you a shot. I'll show you what that does as well. So the one that people kind of gravitate to the most is text to image, because that's the one where you're typing in a prompt and it generates an image based on your description. So that's what text to image means. I also like text effects, so hopefully we'll get a chance to use that today too for a poster. And just so you know, I got Photoshop open in the background with a tabloid size poster, blue screen, ready to go. And we're gonna just go ahead and start populating the content on that poster as well. Now, with that said, so I see Bar, for example, saying, but still waiting for access. And I see Ro from India, so great, and I'm glad you're excited for this episode as well. So let's jump into the text to image. And now that I got the text to image open, you'll notice that the first thing it prompts you with, and I really love this design of the website. I think the team did a great job, especially for this just to be a public beta at this point, is that it shows you an ever-changing gallery of examples. So even if you didn't know what to type right away, like you're new to this and you're like, I don't even know what to start typing to generate an image, you can get some inspiration just by scrolling the gallery. And you can either use the prompt that they use to generate their image, or you can riff off of it and change certain words in it to recreate new images. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to scroll through some of these and see if I see one that I really want to start with for this. And this doesn't have to be sci-fi related yet, because we've got some time for that. But let me just, I'm trying to scroll past ones I've used a million times. So like the teddy bear in the office, I've used that a few times. So I want to use something new this time. I used that teddy bear as well. I used the lion before. So let me scroll and find something. Oh, see, like for example, an astronaut on a motorcycle. Looks like it's going over some planet. I gotta try that since we're doing sci-fi. So I'm gonna go ahead and click try that prompt. And immediately it shows me 4 results that are a result of this prompt. So the prompt is motorcyclist with spacesuit riding on the moon with storm and galaxy in the background. So that text was used to generate this image. And also there was a style applied to it, because you can do different styles. The style that was applied to it, you can see right here, is neon. So I can see at the very bottom here, the neon banner is applied to that prompt. So that's giving this kind of neon effect. If I were to just turn off the neon, just uncheck that and regenerate it, then I'm going to get the same kind of images, but with a different look to them. And so they just don't have a neon glow effect. So still kind of the same thing without the neon. Now you'll also notice that the results came in a square aspect ratio, so a 1-to-1 aspect ratio. You can change that to whatever you need. So if you need a landscape, which we probably will for our poster, we need some landscapes, we'll need some portraits. We can, of course, use square. And you can even use widescreen 16:9. So if you were making like your video thumbnail for the sci-fi movie, you could use the widescreen 16:9 format to generate an image that looks good on video or a video thumbnail. So for example, let's say I switch this to landscape, and then it will instantly regenerate them in landscape 4:3 format, and I'm going to get new results each time. Now, one thing I should point out is that since making a change can regenerate quickly, and therefore if you might have seen something you liked but now it's not there anymore, I want to always encourage you, if you see something that you may use, you see something that you may like, I encourage you to go ahead and download it, because you can mark, by the way, there's a new feature here. You can also mark a favorite. That's brand new as of a few days ago. But you can mark a favorite, and you can put that in your favorites so that you can be able to get back to it. So that is new. That's kind of alleviating this thing I was about to tell you to do. But just in case, at any time you can click download. And so when you click download, that will literally download a ping file of that image to your downloads folder. Now, right now, if we were to go look at that ping file, let's go to my desktop here. I want to go here. And I want to go to my downloads. If I look at my downloads, there it is. It's actually downloaded JPEG in this case. But it's watermarked. So you see the Adobe Firefly beta watermark, image not for commercial use. So that's a very important point to stress, is that this is still a public beta. These images aren't designed yet for commercial use. They're designed just to do what we're doing now, experimenting, playing, and hopefully when this is released to the public for public consumption, public use, no longer a public beta, that banner goes away. So that's what happens when you click download. Now, some of the other options that we have here, so we have the option to now favorite it, which I did. We have the option to download it. We have a menu, which I'm going to pop in a few minutes. We also have the option to do show similar, and we have the option, I'm not going to do that one yet because that's not ready for public consumption yet, but we have the option to show similar. Now, notice that I also have this rate feature. So you will always get results that you probably like, and you will sometimes get results that you don't like they're just not what you expected. There could be some image issues. There could be, you know, we always joke about our hands and faces with generative AI not being perfect yet. So if you're getting results that you don't like, by all means, give that image a thumbs down and you'll get a chance to tell the team why you don't like it. We highly encourage you to tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't like, because that's what's going to make the AI engine model get better. So as you keep telling us what's wrong and keep telling us what's right, the results will continue to improve. So for example, in this case, I like it, so I would give it a thumbs up. And I also get the option to tell them why I like it. I could just say thumbs up and let it go, but if I want to say more, I can go ahead and say, tell us more. And then it will give me the options to say what I want to say. So for example, the prompt was accurately interpreted. Great, yep, it was exactly what I asked for. It closely matches the style or the theme. I'll go with that. High quality output? Yeah, it looks good. I don't have any problems with the output. Great for inspiration? Sure. Production ready image? Well, maybe, maybe not. Depends on if you give me this for commercial use or not. It didn't exceed my expectations. It met them. And there's nothing else I want to say. And if you want to type in your own note, you can, and then you can submit that feedback. So if there's something off, like maybe there's something missing or the motorcycle looks weird or anything like that, then you could say thumbs down and report that image as well. All right, let's go back to this menu. So in the menu, I have the option to say, oh my God, this was so cool. I think it should be submitted to that Firefly gallery. Remember the list of inspiration that we found this from in the first place? I think this is so good it should be there. I also have the option to use it as a reference image. So if I use it as a reference image, it will put it down in the prompt, and then it will keep generating images based off this one. And then of course I have the option to just copy it to the clipboard. So and these are very similar. So the use as a reference image and show, hang on, I'm not sure what happened there. And the show similar are very similar. So show similar, let me show you the difference. When I click that, it keeps this one in place and then generates new ones that are like that one. So we'll let it generate those. And so it kind of gives me the same look and feel of the astronaut, the same look and feel of the motorcycle, and it's very similar. Now, I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like, I don't know if that's a mirror, and there looks like something in his hand. Okay, I'll just let that go. And you can also click on it, by the way, just to make it bigger. And like, I don't know what these circles or balls are behind it, so I'm gonna give this one a thumbs down. This one has some issues. So thumbs down, I could tell it more. And I don't know if I wouldn't say poor quality, I would say it's unexpected content in the results, because those miscellaneous things are showing that I don't know what they are. And that's enough. I will go ahead and say submit feedback. So again, the team can look at this and see why it's doing these kind of maybe weird things. Now, we talked about, so that was show similar. The other one was, if I wanted to keep this in the prompt, I can go ahead and say use as reference image. And then it will stay as a reference image. It'll be used to influence future generations. So if you change the prompt, it will still use this as a reference image for future generations. So if I say, for example, instead of on the moon, I change it to Mars and generate, it's still going to use that reference image as a reference image for Mars. So that's the difference between similar and a reference image. Similar, if you change the prompt, then you're changing everything. Reference image stays in the bar until you get rid of it, and you can keep changing the prompt and go. Okay. Moving on. So now that I have these results, we talked about the aspect ratio. We didn't talk about the content type yet. So content types go from photo, art, or graphic. So for example, I use mostly photo because I'm a photographer. So I kind of like my content to be photorealistic, if that makes sense. And so I'll use photo. But graphic would be more like an illustration, more like a kind of illustrator file. And art would be more like a painting. Someone made it as an art file. So you can change these anytime you want. So if I switch this to graphic, then it's going to regenerate based on the prompt, based on the reference image, and it's going to give me more graphic looking content. If I were to say art, then it's going to give me more art looking content. And art and graphic could be very similar, but if I say photo, then I should get some more photorealistic results. And again, very similar, not a whole lot of difference, but this one, especially in the lower left-hand corner, definitely looks more like a photo than something that was hand-drawn or illustrated. All right, what if you didn't like any of the four? Let's say that I don't like any of those and I want to get 4 new choices. You can always click refresh, and refresh will continue to generate more choices. So refresh takes the prompt into mind, takes the reference image in mind, and takes the style in mind, and generates 4 new ones based on that. And notice how they're all now kind of facing the same way because of the reference image. If I take the reference image out of the equation, then it will generate, and they could be random at this point. All right, so see, now they're not all facing the same way, and I'm not really sure what's going on with this one. And sometimes the results will literally make you laugh because, like, the top of the motorcycle's facing to the left, the bottom of the motorcycle's facing, I'm not even sure how that's physically happening. So I would definitely report that as not a great result. And I would say that that's poor quality, unexpected, and distorted. There we go. Submit that feedback. So they kind of like look at that and say, well, she's kind of riding it sideways, but things are going in different directions. I've also seen sometimes, especially with vehicles and motorcycles, like it might put the headlight on the side or do something weird with the wheels. So if you get weird results, by all means, let the team know that this result was not what you expected. But the other 3 look pretty good. Let's continue down to styles and effects, and then and color and tone, and then we'll start generating some prompts that you're going to submit. So what I want you to do in the chat is I want you to start thinking about prompts you want to see for our poster that we're going to generate. So think sci-fi, think movie, think poster, sci-fi movie poster, and think of the results that you would like to see at this point. So David agrees with me and says the website's really nice. Wade posted the Adobe Firefly FAQ, so thanks for doing that. And I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing any questions here. Adobe Firefly included with a subscription. There's no pricing or subscription details at this point. Right now, it is literally just a public beta. So public beta until further notice. All right, so Space Blizzard says no history or archive. So the history, no history, but the archive feature would be now the new favorites. And of course, saving your image will be saving your image to your hard drive. So the favorites feature is the new archival type feature to just get back to your favorites. All right, next up. So let's go ahead and do styles. I'm just trying to think. So these are categories. So right now it's on effects. So we can see different types of effects that you can apply. We can go to popular. So we can make it look like digital art. We can make it look like a palette knife. So more artistic. Neon was one we saw earlier. Movements. So vaporware. Let me see what vaporware looks like. So when I click a style, you can only have, I think, 1 style at a time. Or no, you can have more than 1 style. So I did science fiction and vaporware. So I'm going to actually turn off vaporware because I'm interested to see what it says since we're doing science fiction, to see what that effect looks like. And I'm not sure what happens if you do multiple styles and they kind of conflict with each other, what that will do as well. Oh, okay, yeah. That looks more science fiction-y. And we still have the person kind of riding the motorcycle going in 2 different directions. So again, that's a bad result. And we will say poor quality, distorted. There we go, submit that. But otherwise, let me hit refresh. Or actually, before I hit refresh, let me download this one. Just so I have one going in a different direction, let me download that one as well. No limit on the number you can download or the number you generate. And again, I can save these to my favorites as well. And by the way, let me view favorites. I've not viewed favorites. So for the person asking about the archive, this is what that archive looks like. So I added these two to my favorites. I can jump to my favorites at any time and see them in my personal archive. All right, and I can mark this as a favorite as well. All right, next up, let's try. That would be more of an art thing. Let me go to themes. Let me look at 3D art. So 3D art, science fiction, and photo. Let's see what that looks like. And I might change it from photo to artistic, because you see a lot of futuristic movie posters that aren't necessarily photorealistic, they're more art design. All right, so let's see what happens if we turn off photo and we go to art. All right, I see some prompts coming in. Thank you for putting the word prompt in front of it so I know that's a prompt and not just a comment. And we're gonna start putting your prompts in just a second. Okay, I kind of dig this one as well, so I'm gonna download that one, maybe mark this one as a favorite. And so we kind of talked about the styles. Color and tone is interesting as well, especially if you're doing landscapes or portraits. You might want to see a portrait in black and white. You might want to see a landscape with vibrant color or warm tones or cool tones, so you can go ahead and change this in tint. You also have lighting. So I like the lighting, especially being a photographer. Like, for example, if I want to create golden hour in my generated image, I can do that. If I want to create low lighting or studio lighting, I can do that as well. So I can also say, let's try studio lighting on this one. It's going to start getting really complicated here, but that's what generative AI is for. Okay, and I can kind of see some of the studio lighting. If you look at the helmet, you can, like, for example, here, you can see where there would be like a light or strobe or some kind of artificial light being applied to the image. So little subtle details being applied there with studio lighting. And last but not least, composition is kind of cool to work with. So you have, like, they're all kind of shot at the same distance from the camera, same angles, different angles, but same perspective from the camera, meaning it's like kind of shot straight on, not above, not below. So you can actually go in and choose close up, wide angle, narrow depth of field, shot from below, shot from above, so forth and so on. So let's try shot from above. And we're really getting specific in here as well. And see, these still look like the same angle for me. So let's refresh that again. Let's see if it changes it. Yeah, I'm still not getting the shot from above that I expect. So let me see if I can change this to something else and see if it changes it. Let's do wide angle. It is a beta, so sometimes things are not going to respond to give you the results you expect. Yeah, I would say that's really not necessarily wide angle as well. So we could have some conflicts in here. So let me try turning off some of these other ones. I just want to see if I can get a different look from the camera. Let me just generate it with wide angle and see what that looks like. Again, not really happy with that. So let me just try, let me do shot from above one more time. And it could be that composition is just not working in this particular moment in time. Yeah, it's giving me the same exact camera position. So I would say that compositions at this moment in time is not working, at least on this image. All right, let's go back. We kind of saw what text. Oh, and by the way, let me just try one of your prompts before we leave this. We're gonna come back and do all kinds of prompts from you, but we'll just try. Let's see, the first one I saw there. All right, here we go. Science fiction, movie, poster, robot, warrior on Saturn, and wide angle and style. We can do all that later. So let's just do your prompt first, and we can always add the styles. All right, let's do that. Actually, let me try the shot from above. Let's see if that works on this one. Generate. Cool. Still not getting my shot from above, but I like where you're going with the prompt. All right, so Saturn, am I seeing Saturn type rings? Maybe. Or maybe we're on Saturn. Like this one kind of looks like rings. I can kind of see that one. Let's refresh it. Let's try it again. Totally different results this time. I'm going to turn off the shot from above. It doesn't seem to be doing much. Definitely can see some Saturn feel on this one, especially on the top left. And let me try one more thing here. Let me try graphic. I want to see what that looks like. Yeah, pretty much like graphic art. Let me try art. All right, let's refresh it. Okay, what I'm feeling from your prompt, my favorite so far, I'm gonna go ahead and download this one. And I'm gonna change the aspect ratio as well. I'm gonna download this one. Because our poster is tall, so let me change it from landscape. Let's get some taller images, some taller versions. Let's go portrait. There we go. Yeah, these will fit nicely on a poster. Great. Still not getting a Saturn feel from some of these. Let me refresh one more time. All right, let me try one change to your prompt. These are cool. Let me try one change to your prompt. Instead of on Saturn, because theoretically the robot or cyborg or whatever this is, robot would be on Saturn looking out. So we're looking at Saturn in the background. So we may not be able to see the rings that way. So instead of saying on Saturn, let's try looking at Saturn. I don't think capitalization should matter, but let's try. Yeah, see the difference? We see Saturn now in the background. So two of the four look like they're looking out at Saturn. Two of them are looking at us. But see, this is giving me more of that Saturn feel with Saturn being in the background. All right, and again, you would report your results being good or bad. I'm not gonna take the time to do that on stream, but let's keep going. Let's see if we get some better results. And we feel like we're in a sci-fi movie with the strobe going on here. Paco's on it. All right, I really like this one. Download. And again, I can mark it as a favorite. I can also say get similar. I really like that one. This one's kind of cool too. Let's go ahead and download that one. And again, I may not use any of them. I may use all of them. It just depends. So I would rather have them as the option. I can also switch this to photo just to see what it would look like as a photo. All right, very cool. So, ooh, I really like this one. This one's cool. All right, let's go ahead and download this one. All right, let me give you a couple more examples, and then we'll take more of your prompts. So we were doing text to image. And by the way, you do not have to start with inspiration. You can go straight to the prompt at the bottom and just start typing. You don't have to start with an image first, change what they did. These are only for if you want to kind of see what prompts were used. But anyway, let's back up one more and let's go out to text effects. Now, although I love generating images from scratch, I'm really just blown away by text effects. So let's go into generate. And we're going to get the same thing. We're going to get the ability to scroll through the gallery, and basically we're working with text. So you see a prompt being used to generate the look of the letters. All right, so skydiving animal in space. All right, so a couple people are having audio, can't hear me. Can you chime in if you can hear me? I guess if you can hear me, you'll hear me. If not, you won't.
Audio's good.
Audio's good. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's. I saw one of those. Let's try your skydiving animal in space. I'm just curious to see what this will do, and let's enter the text. Sci-Fi, and that's the text that it will use to generate that effect onto. All right, thanks, Wade. And that definitely gave us some interesting results. So this is skydiving animal in space. I'm not necessarily seeing I'm not necessarily seeing animals. I'm seeing weird looking things that could be animals, I guess. Let's refresh that. Or we have 4 choices. Let's go look at the different choices first. Okay, now I'm seeing some animals. There we go. And let's click this third one. Okay, cool. Let's go with this one. So as you can see, the text prompt is being applied to the individual characters. And I'll give you a couple tips here as well. You'll notice that you can change, there's some sample prompts, which we saw in the gallery at first. We're going to keep the one we're typing. You also have how the effect will be fit to the characters. So medium means the effect doesn't bleed out too much from each of the characters. But tight means it keeps the effect within the confines of each character. And of course, loose gives us more freedom to have things spray away from the letters themselves. So you can see like on the eye here where the things are kind of flying out on the dash. You can see things are really flying out from the dash, and that definitely looks like something skydiving. You can see I kind of like the ability to have it loose away from the characters themselves. You can also change the font. Now it's not currently the entire Adobe font catalog, but it is several fonts to pick from. So since we're going kind of for a sci-fi feel, I feel like this might be a good font to do. Yep, see, I can tell right off the bat that looks very sci-fi. Cool. And if I like this one, I can go ahead and download that one as well. I can also heart it. So love being able to save favorites now. And that will drop it into my downloads folder. Okay, let's go back. Actually, let's try one more prompt here. Let's see if I got another prompt from you guys to do. Holding a sci-fi ball made of. And we'll save that one for the poster. I like that one, but we'll use that one on the actual image again. Let's see if we got one from you guys for text. All right, I don't really see one that would apply for the text. I see a couple we'll go back and use for images. But let's go ahead and say cyborg, or let's do this. Highly detailed cyborg with gold metal parts. I don't know. I'm not feeling very Very prompt creative today. All right, we'll just see what that looks like. Oh, I'm impressed. Even though I wasn't feeling that, it gave me exactly the kind of stuff I was hoping I'd get. Very cool. All right, so I like that a lot. I'm just going to go ahead and download that one. And this one looks like it could be interesting as well. Let's look at this one. That was very detailed. Cool. I'll download that one as well. All right, let's go back and do your prompts now for images. Give me a couple different prompts for images, and then we'll start putting the stuff in Photoshop and kind of wrap things up. I know, wow, this is awesome. I agree, Space Blizzards. Let's go to text image and give me a prompt. I saw one, but it might have scrolled up. All right, so throw me some prompts, even if you have to copy and paste what you did before, and we'll go ahead and pop those in now. And again, like I said, you don't have to start with one of these. You can if you want to, but you can just go ahead and type. All right. If you don't give me one, I'll go ahead and put my own in. Does it recognize aesthetic details like a specific camera type or popular aesthetic style like candy core? It doesn't if it's a brand. So these are sourced from Adobe stock, and all brands, all like recognizable faces, things like that have been not added to the data set. So if you say, show me a Nikon camera 70 to 200 millimeter, it doesn't know what a Nikon camera is. All right, here we go. Now we got some prompts. Okay, prompt, a humanoid. And by the way, you don't have to say a humanoid, just humanoid, robot with a green cap delivering a package in an enclosed, very detailed prompt, enclosed Mars human habitat with humans expecting the package. I have no idea what we're going to get. Here, let me make sure I got everything spelled right. Humanoid robot with a green cap delivering a package in an enclosed Mars human habitat with humans expecting a package. Okay, let's see what we get. No clue how it's going to figure that on that one. You asked for it, you got it. All right, so it's got a green, this one's definitely got a green cap on, delivering a package, and some of these got humans waiting for the package. This is very fun. All right, let me go portrait on this. I'm surprised at how well it interpreted at least a couple of those. There we go. So as you can see, some of them really took the green cap seriously. Some of them took the other humans waiting for the package seriously. I notice how the robot seems to be bigger than the people in most cases, so that's interesting. So let's say I want something similar to this one. So I'll say, show me similar. Because that one's not quite right. It's not quite what you asked for. That's interesting there. So let me grab this one. And let me say similar to this one. All right, yeah, now we're getting there. So this one's got more of the people. This one's got the green cap. They all have the green cap now. So that's what I mean by using that similar feature to keep generating so it knows that it kind of got it right, but you want to keep getting different results. So I'm going to go ahead and download this one. And so I think I saw Omar say something about, Omari say something about the, not the actual camera, but the style of the photo being as if a Nikon camera took it. Again, the minute you say Nikon, it doesn't know. So it even doesn't know what a Nikon is, so it doesn't know the style of it either. I get what you're asking for because other engines definitely do that. So if I were to say, Mountain Valley, just to give you an example, Valley, shot with a Nikon 70 to 200 millimeter lens. I'm pretty sure it's ignoring the Nikon. Yeah, see, it can't, because I use the word, it doesn't know what it is. So if I take out the word Nikon and just say 70 to 200 millimeter lens, that might work. Nope, doesn't know what, oh, by the way, can't be shot, that's the actual word. Photographed, because there are words it's protecting you against. So let's say Nikon 70 to 200. So shot was the word that was throwing it off. Nope, doesn't like that. Photograph with a Nikon. Let's try it one more time. Nope. So let me take off the Nikon. So that's what I mean by it just doesn't know what brands are. Nope. So yeah, it doesn't do that. All right, next. I saw another prompt there. There we go. There it is. Prompt. Hyper realistic reptile alien warrior sitting on a, hang on, I missed that one. Sitting on something. Hold on, my text changed. Hold on for a second. I think it was higher up. Oh, I was right in the middle of it. Sitting on, I know it's sitting on something. There it is, sitting on a bone throne. Dust planet. All right. Ask and you shall receive. I don't know if that's a bone throne. How about, so sometimes it's just the way you word it. So sitting on a throne made of bones. On a dust planet. All right, we're gonna generate this one and then we're gonna start popping some stuff into Photoshop and we're gonna have to wrap it up. Yeah, this one looks more like it's bones. This one looks like it could be bones. That's not a throne. That's, I don't know what that is. So let's say similar to this one. And then we'll pop a few of these into Photoshop and get our poster going. Yeah, see, I can see some of the bones kind of sticking up here. And we didn't say bones of what, so it's kind of just guessing the whole thing. I kind of really dig this one too. And for our poster, I really dig this one too. Okay, time to stop because we're running out of time. We could generate all day, and I encourage you to go do that. I encourage you to go play with Firefly once you get in and generate kind of cool stuff and just tag me and show me what you did. Let's pop over to Photoshop. And again, we have all that stuff in our downloads folder, so if I can bring the downloads folder up, there's everything we generated today, starting with the motorcycle. And one more thing I want to point out, you'll notice that when I go to my downloads and I expand this out a little bit, the file name is your actual prompt. So if you ever download an image, but you forgot what you typed to get it, it's named the file what you typed to get it. So you're always going to have that prompt no matter what. All right, so let's drag a couple of these in. So I'm just dragging them right in from the operating system into Photoshop. Cool. And you'll notice that the watermark comes in. So if I'm compositing, I don't want 50 watermarks. So it's okay if I get rid of 49 of them, as long as I keep one for the main poster, because again, not available for commercial use yet. So we'll go ahead and drop this one in. I don't know where I'm going to quite put it yet. Let's go ahead and scale it down a bit. Let's have that one there. And let's go ahead and bring in some of our text as well. So I believe these are the text ones. That was it. So let's go ahead and drag that one in. And because the text didn't have a background, you can put a background in Firefly. You can say yellow, blue, whatever. I use transparency, so that way when I bring it into Photoshop, it's going to be transparent as well. I'm just going to make it a little smaller and drop that right in the center at the top. And again, I can go ahead and apply a mask to that so that when I brush away, just for the sake of aesthetics, when I brush away that watermark, I'm just hiding it from the view because we're going to keep the main one at the bottom there. So cool, that's there. And next up, what I want to do is try and bring in maybe one more of these characters. Not the delivery guy. I like the delivery guy though. Yeah, let's bring in one of our robots. I kind of like that one. I like that one too. Let's bring in this one. Okay. And let's scale him down that way. Now, obviously the backgrounds are conflicting with these two. So what I can attempt to do, let's see if we have enough time to try this. It brought these in as smart objects. And so I can go in and try, let's do select subject. And cool, it did a select subject. And then I can go ahead and apply a mask to it and just simply mask out everything else. So that way I can get down to just the robot. And that way, I still have everything there. I still have the original, but this way I can go in and play with the scale and kind of bring the size that I want. So we're still seeing the one behind it. Put him at the bottom there. Let's go to this next layer. Sorry, bottom layer, that one. Let's go do that. And the same kind of thing. Now, what I'm really thinking I would try to do now at this point is instead of generating a character, let's just generate the planet. So dust planet. Prompt too short. So it's letting me know, it probably wants a little bit more detail. But I kind of like where it's going with this. Surface, let's try surface of a dust planet. And generate. Because yeah, it'd be cool to have just a cool sci-fi background for our whole shot. All right, so these look pretty cool. For the sake of time, I'm just going to grab one of these. And then we'll pop over to Photoshop. And we'll bring that one in we just brought in. And we'll go ahead and scale that out to be our background. That's really looking good behind the type. Let's put it behind everything else. Nice. All right, now we need this guy. Oh, right layer, that guy. And let's see if we can do the same thing. Let's see if we can get a select subject going. Not bad. All right, let's go ahead and mask that one out. I'm amazed by a select subject at times. This is really coming together better than I thought it would. All right, thanks for the prompt suggestions. I like our alien sitting on a bone throne there with our cyborg kind of standing watch. This is really coming together well. And let's take our cyborg. I think it's this one. Nope, it's this one. Yep, that one. And let's move that. Oh. Do I have this? No, I don't. Okay. Let's go ahead and move him up a bit. And maybe right there. Cool, cool, cool. All right. We are just about out of time. Let me see if I can fit one more thing in. But thank you guys. This is coming together way better than I imagined when I first started thinking about this project today. You know what? I kind of like him too. Let's bring him in. And we can maybe have him go face the other way. Cool. Let's do select subject on him. Great. Let's mask him out. Great. Now let's free transform and flip horizontal. Cool. And we'll drop him or her down to the bottom here. And maybe make it a little smaller. something like that. Now we're just missing our text. We put our text in and we just keep going. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. I'm literally just having this. I get paid today to have fun in Firefly and Photoshop, and just kind of riff off your suggestions for the prompts, and just having fun. And again, we wish our co-host John Knack well with whatever the family emergency was. I hope everything worked out. But stay tuned. There are going to be more Firefly. I think there's another Firefly stream today, and we're doing these every Thursday. So we didn't get John today, but we will definitely get him back. Thanks, everyone, and go check out firefly.adobe.com for more. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you go get inspired and try and do some of this on your own with Photoshop, Illustrator, Firefly, text effects. Cool. Cheers, everyone.